I think I have a surprise at the door. Yes, I do. Let's see what we got. All right, guys, so for the training series, what I wanted to show you was some new running stuff, we'll say, that I'm going to use over the next couple of weeks to train. First is new pair of running shoes. Now, you guys know on this channel, I've been an absolute devotee to Saucony. The last, did you hear how I pronounce that? Saucony. The last set of shoes I had from them, I put 520 miles on them. I've never ran a shoe that long, that far, and they stayed and were extremely durable. But today, we're actually trying, not a new shoe brand, but a new shoe brand for the channel that I've never reviewed before. We have, of all brands, a pair of Skechers. And I follow a group called Doctors of Running on Instagram. I love those guys, and they actually had recommended this as a speed shoe. And so as we talk over the next couple of weeks and we talk about times, this one I think is going to be a better fit for me. So these are the Skechers Go Run Razor 5s. And you can see right off the bat, if you can't tell, these have a rocker bottom, but these are the most aggressive shoe for stack height that I have ever had. So you actually measure how high off of the ground the back and the front of the shoe are, and you subtract it, and you get what's called a stack height. And typical shoes for long runs are about 10 millimeters, and they go all the way down to a 0, which would be a barefoot shoe. This is a 2. This is a 2. So these are extremely aggressive. They do have a, you can see it here, yes. They have a Goodyear rubber sole on them, and they do have a carbon fiber plate, but it looks like an H. So it will actually help with foot motion and springiness because of the center rail that's in here for the carbon plating. I've been told, you can see these are brand new out of the box. I'm going to do my first run in them tomorrow. I've been told that they are an aggressive shoe, but they are a fast shoe. And this colorway, I absolutely love this colorway. It looks like New Year's confetti to me, so I thought this was appropriate for the New Year. So that's the first thing. Second is going to be a new bottle. We've talked to you in this channel about sustainability for 2025 is a big, big goal for Jules and I. So what I have today is a new shaker bottle. And I've used a shaker bottle for years and years. Apologize for the noise. But I've never had a metal one. So I decided to get a metal one. This is the blender bottle Strata, completely double insulated metal, 24 ounces, double walled insulated, excuse me. Still has the metal for the blender itself. You've got markings on the outside. This is called ice blue, by the way, if you can see it in the frame. And then instead of the traditional cap, which is a plastic popover, this one has a screw cap and a holder here for a detachable loop with, you know, to do whatever you want to do on it. So I thought this was a really neat new technology that blender bottle is utilizing. This was $19.99 on Amazon. This does have the 24 hours, just like your other big name brands, but this was $24.99. So I'm going to be using this to fuel with pre-workout and with shakes. Okay, off to some other equipment that I have in the next room. All right, next up are socks. I have been looking for socks that are made out of sustainable material to finish the year with, and to see with the highest thread count of what might be out there that doesn't include rayon or elastane or any type of polyester material, and see how high I could get the percentage of wool or other natural fibers into the socks. And I found 2 brands, I'm going to show you very quickly, that do exactly that. I have an Ibex. And Ibex is a brand I have had their base layers before. I did not know they made running socks, and so this one is their running / trail quarter sock, and this is 75% merino wool. So that's the highest overall that I could find that still allowed itself to be called a running sock and had a little bit of cushion to it. And then the other, which is a new brand I'd never heard of before, it's called Farm to Feet. Farm to Feet make a number of socks. They use wool as well. And this one is made in the US with US materials. And this one has 63% merino wool, and it says on the front that it's on a 200 thread count needle machine. And so this is their Greensboro quarter crew, and this is specifically what they recommend for individuals who are running long distances. Like I said, they both have a line for trails, they both have a line for casual socks and warmer socks, but this one is specifically for running, and this one is as well from Ibex. They were both roughly the same price, and they're both put in paper. This one says 100% recycled paper. This one actually doesn't tell me on the packaging anywhere. So these are going to be my 2 main pairs to train in. I'll report back on how they wear, if I get any blisters from them, and see how they wash and whether or not they shrink. Some of these that have higher amounts of natural fibers say not to dry them. Both of these say that I can, so we'll check back in and see whether or not that's the case. But yeah, I'm gonna get up in the morning and wear these first, the Ibex, and see how they end up doing. All right, it is the next morning. We just put 10 miles on the shoes. Let me give you my first thought. Right off the bat, they were an aggressive shoe. I believe I have a blister on my right foot. Sometimes that's expected. I will tell you that it is a completely flat shoe, except for what they call the hyper arch, which sits right behind the ball of the foot. That is where the grading is for the offset, the millimeter offset. So that's the 2, and that is what creates that rocker bottom. It is a very springy shoe, imagining skipping, if you want to know how it feels like to run in this. And I did push the shoe. It was supposed to be a recovery run, but pushed it a little bit with some speed to see. And I will tell you, the faster you get, the more that you run closer to being on your toes. Again, kind of like skipping. And so I like the shoe, just generically speaking. Again, just the first run. The blister, I believe, came from a combination of the new shoe breaking in and the sock. Remember, we tried and looked at those 2 pairs that are almost 100% wool, but are natural fiber blends. And I tried the Ibex, which I have had layers, base layers from them before, and really liked the way they felt. And so when I saw that they have the highest percentage of wool in a sock, in a running sock, I decided to do that one first and purchase that. But I think, when you go to getting natural fiber and no synthetic fiber, what ends up happening, and I don't know this, but as we run, I will check back in with you, there's some slippage there because it is natural fiber. There's no hold. So I'm going to have to make sure that the shoe is tightened down enough so that we don't have that slip as I begin to sweat and we run longer. So anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to talk to you very quickly, step in the next morning. I'll see you tomorrow with another video focusing on another aspect of our race. But so far, so good. The H carbon fiber feels nice. Feet stay forward. And that middle part, the perpendicular part, creating the H is what creates that hyperarch, and it springs you forward. So, like it so far. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you again in the morning. Thanks for watching.